Well, hello everyone, and welcome to today's Friday's Q&A live here today. And if you're not familiar with the process, I do a Q&A session every Friday. Sometimes they're live and sometimes I post them depending on whether I'm at my desk or not. But today I'm going to do a live Q&A. The idea again is to have a short, sharp session of just answering a question that is very topical, either in my clients' minds or indeed something that someone has specifically asked. And the idea is to give you some tips that will help you improve your business. So today's question is, can customer insights impact on your profits? And if so, how? And there's lots of research carried out showing that there's an enormous amount of misalignment between what customers think and want and what business owners actually think they want. And it's that gap that can really impact on your profits. So obviously closing the gap will have an enormous impact on your financials and your bottom line. But, and this is a big but, in order to do that, you have to be brave. You have to be willing to listen and hear the things from your customers that you might not be wanting to hear. So to give you some ideas of how huge this problem is, research shows that 48% of businesses are aligned with their customers. That means that 48% know what their customers want as opposed to thinking they know what they want. Now that's huge because by definition, 52% are not meeting their customers' needs and are either leaving money on the table or worse still, are losing those customers or potential customers or prospects to their competitors. So if we look at the ones that are good, they are around the 80% mark of alignment. And they've got to that stage by really understanding what their customers' decision-making process is. Now, I hear two things. First of all, everybody says that. But this is where it meets the rub, because whilst you absolutely do want to know and hear what your customer's decision-making process is, this is also when things can go horribly wrong. And by that I mean that of course you want to have a dialogue with your customers or your prospects, but it's what you ask that's going to be so important and how you ask it. So the biggest mistake people make is that they ask the customer a very direct and explicit question: what do they want? Well, you would never want to be asking that question because most of the time your clients and your prospects are going to be unable to articulate a response that's going to help you, because it's too broad a question. And I suspect that actually if you were asked, you too would struggle as just as I would. So instead, what you do is you're going to ask them questions about what factors are important to them. And you're going to get them to articulate why they choose certain things, what they value in that choice, rather than asking that direct question. And for instance, why would they choose your business as opposed to your competitors? Or conversely, why would they choose a competitor over you? So let's look at an example. A very common example in answer to that sort of very broad question is, what's important to you? And they may say quality of service or quality of product. But that in itself doesn't help you as a business owner to determine how to really focus your product to meet that need specifically, because your idea of quality might be quite different to theirs. So you would want to be asking them what they mean by quality and then drill down why that's important to them, because that's going to give you those nuanced explanations. And it's their understanding of quality, in this case, that's important. And as I said, that might be very, very different to yours. And you need to just listen at this point to what it is that they're trying to say, because that could be the difference between making a sale and losing one. So it's really important to remember that at this point, you are not trying to sell them anything, but merely gain the insights that I've referred to. But of course, the beauty of this approach is that although you're not selling, the more you try not to sell, these non-selling conversations, of course, can yield sales, because customers love to be understood. We're all the same. We love to be understood. And rather than the sort of traditional method of a sale conversation where the customer immediately becomes extremely defensive. So all that I've explained so far is exceptionally important in trying to gain customer insight. But whilst that's a really, really important step, it is only the first step of 2 steps that are really vital if we're going to make an impact on our bottom line. And so you've gained your first step of insight, and hopefully what you're going to do is pay attention to that, appreciate it, and by that I mean not put it aside because it doesn't fit with your idea of, for instance, quality. You're not going to brush it aside. You're going to pay attention, and then most importantly, you're going to take action on that insight, because action is the biggest part, because we all have natural biases. We don't want to hear that we have to change things that we're already doing, especially if it's our product or our services, because we're very passionate about those. And it can be tough conversations to have and to hear. But to get to that 80% plus company or business, you need to pay heed to what you've heard, take action, and that will have inevitably a positive impact on your finances. So I hope I have given you a response to, whether customer insights can have an impact and a positive impact. And I hope I've given you some tips to how you go about doing that. I really hope you're going to share your comments with me and let me know whether you've tried this out, whether it's worked for you, and whether you are still having some difficulties. Do let me know whether when you hear this on the replay or indeed through the live. I will look out for the comments, and I will endeavour to answer those. So I look forward to seeing you on the next live, and in the meantime, hope you have a fabulous weekend. Hope you use the time over the weekend to re-energise, to chill and get ready for the following week. Have a fabulous time. Until next time. Bye-bye.